Dubai, a city that rose from the sands of the Arabian desert and transformed itself into a global icon of wealth, ambition, and extravagance. In just a few decades, it went from being a quiet fishing settlement to a place recognized worldwide for its glittering skyline, luxury shopping malls, and record-breaking achievements. For many, Dubai looks like a paradise in the desert, a futuristic wonderland where anything is possible, where dreams are built as quickly as skyscrapers. But look closer, and another story begins to emerge. Behind the shimmering glass towers and luxury cars is a darker reality. A reality that is often hidden from tourists and ignored in glossy brochures. This other side of Dubai tells a story of struggle, inequality, exploitation, and ethical questions that challenge the very foundation of this so-called modern utopia. Today, we are going to dive deep into this hidden world. We'll explore the dark side of Dubai, from the way it treats its workers, to the environmental cost of building a metropolis in the desert. Dubai's wealth is highly concentrated. The city is home to tens of thousands of millionaires and billionaires, but many of the people who live and work here struggle financially. The cost of living is extremely high, and even for professionals, the pressure to maintain a certain lifestyle can be overwhelming. And when debt comes knocking in Dubai, the consequences can be severe. In many countries, missing a credit card payment, falling behind on rent, or struggling to repay a loan is seen as a financial issue. In Dubai, it can be treated as a crime. People who default on their debts face the possibility of arrest, fines, and even prison. Stories of expatriates fleeing the country overnight, abandoning their cars at the airport to escape debt collectors, are surprisingly common. So while Dubai looks like a financial paradise from afar, for many who live there, the dream of wealth becomes a trap, a mirage in the desert that fades as soon as you reach for it. But the real foundation of Dubai's success isn't oil anymore, and it isn't tourism either. The true backbone of this city is its vast army of migrant workers. And their story is perhaps the darkest part of Dubai's reality. Around 90% of Dubai's population is made up of foreigners. Most of the labor force comes from countries like India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, and various African nations. These men and women arrive in search of a better life, often taking out loans or selling family property to pay recruitment agents who promise them good salaries. When they arrive, many find themselves trapped. Employers sometimes confiscate their passports, making it almost impossible for them to leave. Workers live in overcrowded labor camps far away from the luxury of the city center. In some cases, 10 or more men are forced to share a single small room. Sanitation can be poor. Air conditioning is often unreliable in a desert climate where temperatures can soar past 45 or even 50 degrees Celsius. And privacy is almost non-existent. Their wages are shockingly low. Some earn as little as $200 a month despite working 12 to 14-hour shifts in extreme heat. They build the skyscrapers, the highways, the shopping malls, and the luxury villas. They are the invisible workforce that keeps Dubai's dream alive. Yet they rarely get to experience the wealth they are building for others. Human rights organizations have compared their treatment to modern-day slavery. Workers who protest unpaid wages risk deportation. Some are trapped by debts they can never repay. And when accidents happen, which they do often, injuries and deaths are underreported. There are countless stories of workers who never made it home, their deaths barely acknowledged. One worker once said in an interview, "We built Dubai, but Dubai is not for us." That single sentence captures the truth behind the city's glitter. The tallest building in the world, the Burj Khalifa, stands as a monument to ambition. But at its base, thousands of men live in poverty, their sacrifices hidden in the shadows of its shining glass. Dubai presents itself as modern, open, and international. And in many ways it is. But when it comes to freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and basic human rights, the story changes. Criticizing the government, the ruling family, or even certain institutions can lead to arrest. What might be a harmless social media post in another country can be considered a serious offense in Dubai. For women, the laws can be particularly harsh. In cases of sexual assault, victims sometimes find themselves accused of crimes if they cannot produce enough evidence. There are documented cases of women reporting rape only to be charged with extramarital sex. The situation is even more precarious for the LGBTQ+ community. Homosexuality is illegal in Dubai. While the city promotes itself as tolerant and cosmopolitan to tourists, residents face real dangers if their private lives are exposed. For many, living authentically is simply not an option. Journalists and activists also face challenges. Reports critical of labor practices or human rights issues are often censored or ignored. Speaking out too loudly can mean deportation, imprisonment, or worse. So while Dubai markets itself as a global hub of openness, its legal system remains deeply restrictive. Beyond human rights, there's another dark side, one that threatens not just Dubai, but the planet as a whole. Building a paradise in the middle of a desert comes with enormous environmental consequences. Consider the Palm Islands. These artificial archipelagos are engineering marvels, designed to attract tourists and wealthy investors. But in creating them, entire ecosystems were disrupted. Sand dredged from the sea smothered coral reefs. Natural water currents were blocked, leading to stagnant areas and coastal erosion. The glittering islands that appear on postcards are, in reality, scars on the natural environment. Water is another major issue. Dubai sits in one of the driest regions on Earth, yet it has lush golf courses, giant fountains, water parks, and even an indoor ski resort. This is possible because of desalination plants, which turn seawater into drinking water. But these plants consume massive amounts of energy, and the salty byproduct they release back into the ocean harms marine life. Air conditioning is another silent burden. To survive the desert heat, almost every building, mall, and car runs constantly on cooling systems. This consumes staggering amounts of electricity, much of it still generated by fossil fuels. As a result, Dubai has one of the highest per capita carbon footprints in the world. So while the city appears futuristic and sustainable on the surface, the truth is very different. Behind the scenes, Dubai's environmental practices raise serious questions about how long such a lifestyle can last in a world facing climate change. Tourism is one of Dubai's greatest achievements. Millions of people visit every year, drawn by promises of safety, luxury, and unforgettable experiences. Influencers pose by infinity pools, celebrities host parties in lavish hotels, and families flock to theme parks and desert safaris. But here lies a dilemma. Tourists rarely see the full picture. They don't see the worker who cleans their hotel room while living in a cramped dormitory. They don't see the bus driver working 14-hour shifts for a wage that barely covers his food, drinking alcohol outside licensed venues, showing public displays of affection, or even making rude gestures can lead to arrest. Travelers unaware of local customs sometimes find themselves facing legal trouble for things that would be considered minor elsewhere. Meanwhile, the image of Dubai promoted online is carefully curated. Influencers are sometimes even paid to avoid mentioning controversial topics. The glamorous side of Dubai becomes a global advertisement, while the darker truths remain invisible. It is the story of migrant workers who sacrificed everything to build a city they will never have a chance to enjoy.